Alrighty, everybody, welcome back. Happy Monday. Hope you guys had a awesome Father's Day for the dads out there. For the moms that play both parts, you guys are awesome human beings. Back at you with another video, and before we dive in, I will go ahead and address the elephant in the room. I have failed this challenge. I have failed at my 100 videos in 100 days because I have not done a video for probably 3 or 4 days. The last video I did was a repost. It was repurposed to training we already did. And as I was mentioning, I've been finding it more and more difficult to actually show up and consistently do these because I have so many other things going on in life, business, etc. But we're here. We're doing it again. Back at you with another video. So let me know in the comments if you think I should continue to go every single day for the 100 days or not. More than willing to, but let me know by dropping me a comment. Roast me for missing some days. That's completely fine too. Or let me know if you've been getting any value from any of the videos that I've dropped over the last couple of months. And today I want to specifically talk about a little bit of a content plan that you guys can personally use to start promoting your offers, selling your offers, launching your products, etc. Because we have been following a pretty rigid content calendar, content plan, promotional plan for the last few years with all of our product launches. And we're actually hosting a training this Thursday for our 8-week cash flow class students. So I figured it would be a good time to give you guys a little bit of a roadmap of what that looks like and give you a little bit of a snapshot around what we actually need to do as content creators if we want to start consistently selling products, services, affiliate offers, digital products, doesn't really matter, but dialing in some type of actual plan to promote your offers. So I do have a little bit of a doc, and I will bring the screen up, and we'll go through that. Alrighty, so a little bit of a content plan as a whole. Pre-sale, quick fire content plan that sells offers, gets more attention, and brings in lead flow. Now, the one thing I want to reiterate is I think launching products, running promotions, etc., is extremely glamorized in the market right now. Everybody wants to launch their own course, their own thing. And the one thing I'm going to tell you is if you're not already creating consistent content, this is going to be very difficult. Actually running a promotion, doing content, doing all this stuff, launching a product is going to be extremely hard if you are not already consistently creating content. Because running a promotion, launching an offer is like consistency on steroids. If you're doing a 21-day promotion, which we usually advise, you're probably doing a minimum of 40, 50 pieces of content throughout that 21 days. You're talking to people, you're sending DMs, you're having conversations. There's a lot that goes into it. It's not as simple as make a piece of content, make sales. Okay? So just a fair warning, right? If you're not already consistently creating content, that needs to become the forefront of everything you do in business because that's like the baseline of making this game work. Yeah, that's right. Coming from the guy who just skipped 3 days in his consistent 100 days, but I digress. So a couple quick notes. The offer, what you're selling needs to be in place prior. We need to have clarity on the actual offer you're selling, right? This could be a unique bonus, bonuses, etc., different support systems on top of the affiliate program you're promoting, etc., or your own thing. But we have to get clear on the actual offer or the thing that you're monetizing with. And this is only a little piece of the content, but it makes it a lot easier because we can start working backwards from if we have clarity on what we're selling, we can work backwards from who would actually need that in our audience, right? So if I'm trying to sell a program that shows people how to convert premium price clients without sales calls, that's only relevant to people who are already on sales calls, right? Because they want to remove sales calls from their business, as an example. 21 days minimum. Like this is something that I really want to reinforce is 21-day promotional cycle minimum. And that means every single day you're posting content about this offer, you're talking about people. So that's 3 weeks of being very consistent. And I wouldn't even start the 21-day flow until you find an angle that's hitting with your audience. So what this would actually look like is, say I want to run a promotion. I'm not actually going to start that 21-day promotion until I already have an angle for my audience that I know they want to solve, a problem that they want to solve, something that they're currently struggling with. Because the thing that I've seen a lot of people do, and we've been telling our clients 21 days for a long time, but what I've seen people do is they'll start the 21-day promotion cycle from right now, right? So they have day one, and then they'll go. Let's say they'll create the offer. They'll do this. They'll do this. They'll do this. They'll do this. They'll do this, and then they'll post about it. Three or four times, and then 21 days is up. Oh, you can't even see that. Great job, Nate. Can't even see that. Um, hot mess. There we go. So as an example, they'll just kind of let these days tick through, and they won't even give themselves enough time to like find an angle or talk to their audience about it because they're doing all these other things before they start the 21 days. So I wouldn't actually start your 21-day campaign until you have an angle that you know your audience is responding to. Right? That's how we actually ended up creating our 8-week cash flow class. We knew we had a bunch of people in our audience that wanted to learn how to write, create, and sell offers. So then we turned around and we're like, hey, we're going to run this actual 8-week intensive with a few people, and we're going to help them create their content plan, write their offers, sell it in the DMs, etc. But we didn't actually start that actual promo cycle until we already knew we had demand for something, right? So we can always stretch this horizon a little bit longer if we need to, and I would usually advise it, especially if it's your first time ever doing like a semi-aggressive launch or promo, because you're probably not going to find an angle for the first few days. Like realistically, we had a couple clients who launched a course of their own, and for the first 7 days they were posting about it every single day. Crickets, crickets, crickets. They were no momentum, no movement, right? They were getting nothing was happening. And on day 8, I think they made 3 or 4 sales of $1,000 product, right? But they finally kept trying, throwing stuff at the wall, talking about different topics in their actual program that was coming, and then they found the angle that their audience was like, "Fuck, that's what I need. I need to fix that problem." So they doubled down on that, and then they ended up turning that product into about 100K in 100 days, right? But if they would have just kind of went, oh well, it didn't work within the first 7 days of me posting about it, like let's do something else, then they would have ended up losing out on a multi 6-figure product. So just as an example, don't come out of the cycle swinging with deadlines. As I mentioned, that's the reason because of this. You don't want to end up shooting yourself in the foot. Like, hey, this thing's gone in 72 hours. Like, unless you have a very responsive audience and you already know how to create effective content, it's going to be very hard for you to even get your audience to move over the thing that you want them to before the deadline even comes. We can go limited spots if it is like a limited availability type thing, or we can go, price increases, etc. Whatever reason there is for them to act now. But I wouldn't come out of the gates like this thing's gone tomorrow unless you already have a relatively decent sized audience or people already very active in your world. A couple nuances. I would kick off things with an anchor post, free training. We like to run all of our promotions, our product launches with some type of free training. So what this actually looks like is we'll utilize our free content to push people to some type of high value free training where then we invite people to purchase things from us off the back end. So we're not actually like every piece of content we're creating is like, hey, go buy my product, go buy my offer, like this is the coolest thing ever, go buy it, go buy it, go buy it. We're like, hey, we have this thing, this training that's going to help you get a specific result. And throughout that training, we're like, hey, if you'd be interested in coming and hanging out with us, we will, we'd be more than happy to have you. But if not, no big deal. And, keep hanging out with us on the training. Curious about what that actually looks like. I think my last YouTube video was on this cash mullet kickoff strategy that we've been using for a very long time. But we like to use this for about half of the promotion. So for example, if we're doing a 21-day product launch, we'll actually probably push this free training for about 10 or 11 days. And then halfway, we'll start pivoting the content more to be more direct around the offer, right? More direct around, hey, we have this masterclass that's happening. We have this digital product that's going to help you do X, Y, Z. I got 2 spots left to join me in my coaching offer where I want to help you do this. But for the first half, we'll usually just feed people to this training that we have, right? This is how we actually ended up going. I think it was 2022 where we pretty much did a product launch every single month, and this is how we did it without like constantly being the guys that were like buy this, buy this, buy this. It was like giving good value to our audience and selling in unison. Right? We have this really cool free thing that's going to help you, and obviously we run businesses, so we have products to sell, and you can come buy them if you want, or you can hang out with us on this free training. It's a good example of that, right? Uh, some nuances for the free training. Think of something adjacent to the offer. As I mentioned, start with the offer. 3 steps out of 4. Now, I'm not saying to go create intentional problems in people's business, but you have to look at what ends up happening in people's life or business when they solve a specific problem. Something else actually ends up getting created, right? So then you would use that as your angle to get them to talk to you about the offer. What would prime folks to need the thing you're selling, right? Or even if it's like an information type product, you can't just sell more information. Like, so if I run a free training on how to set up your process so that way you can get paid to do Amazon influencer review videos, I can't utilize that exact same thing as like the reason for them to come buy my program, because uh they're not going to end up wanting to buy because it just feels like just more of the same exact stuff. The immediate thought was like, why do I need that? Why do I actually need that that offer from you? Because I feel you just gave that to me. I can't show somebody in high detail uh, for free how to grow and monetize their community, and then be like, hey, if you want to learn how to grow and monetize your community, come pay me. I just gave it to them, right? We would need to either find the next problem or go 30,000 foot overview. Hey, this is the model. This is the process we use. This is what it looks like. Um, and that's kind of the training. And then on the back end, like, hey, if you want a step-by-step detailed framework of doing this A to Z, then, send me a message. And if you want more volume, you want more messages, then you can go vague, or you can throttle the lead flow with more specific people closer to the point of buying by including more about the actual product or even the price, right? Natural, you're going to throttle interaction if you mention anything related to price. Just coughed my lungs out. The goal of a promotion: create as much attention, awareness, and eyeballs to your content. Seed them through some type of evergreen value, live training, video replay, and then aggressive invitations off the back end, PDFs to buy off the tail end. All right, everybody. So I figured I would do a little bit of a visual representation of this actual process, but I will give you a fair warning. I am not the most proficient artist or person who draws, but I figured since I've been doodling all over my screen for the last couple months, I would figure I would pull my screen up and kind of walk you guys through the actual process of what this actually looks like. So first things first, right? We're going to be creating some form of content, right? So we got content. Okay, we got our content. And then what this is actually going to do. So like we got this. We got, post 1. We got post 2. We got post 3. Okay? So we got all of this content that we're creating inside of our business. What we're then actually going to start doing is we're going to start utilizing this content to start sending people to some form of free training. As I was mentioning in this earlier in this video, right? So this could be, a pre-recorded video, some type of video, right? Some type of video training of value. It could also be like a written piece of content if you wanted it to be. Best case scenario, I would usually do some type of written or both, a mixture of the actual two. But we're basically we're creating the attention and awareness through the content we're creating, sending people to a free training where we're then going to start having conversations with people. You guys like my chicken scratch? You probably can't even see that, right? conversations with people, okay, where we're then sending them our PDF, which then turns into sales, turns into actual money. Now, the cool part about this actual process is once we start dialing this in, we can just kind of refeed people back through these two different things, right? Once we have a content style that's working, we can continue to send people through the free trainings, and then the free training ends up feeding the conversation, which then in turn spits out sales. Now, on a bit of a deeper level, this is exactly what we end up doing with a lot of our free groups and our free content creation, is we utilize external content like short form video. And we send people to our group where we then talk to people, which then turns into actual money and sales opportunities. Now, the reason we end up actually doing this and the reason we've kicked off all of our promotions this way is it's actually a very simple and low pressure way to actually start making money, because we can actually just start giving our audience free stuff and get exposure to our offers in unison. But I figured I would do a little bit something different for you guys today and kind of talk about that process and ultimately what I would potentially do if I was planning on kicking off any type of promo, launching an offer, launching a course, launching a digital product, or a consulting offer in general. But the biggest thing will be casting a net of attention, awareness around yourself, seeding them through some form of value, and then kickstarting conversations off the tail end of the actual free training that you did. Now, the biggest bottleneck most people will run into is either A, they won't get enough volume to the free training, which then means there's a content problem, or there's not actually any people converting over to the paid offer. And then we could potentially look at the actual distinction between the free thing and the paid thing, or look at the types of the offer itself, right? And that's all I got for you guys today. A little bit of a tangent around utilizing content to give away free stuff and get paid in unison. If you guys want a little bit of a deeper dive into the Cash Mullet Kickoff strategy, give me a shout or drop a comment, and I can tag you in a previous video I already did, or if you'd personally like us to help you deploy our offer launch process, send me a DM and we can talk about what that would look like. But if not, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video.